Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Happy Mum. It is the summer holidays. I say that like it's a very joyous thing. It is a joyous thing, obviously. But hands up if you are feeling a little bit frazzled already from the amount of snacks that you've been asked for. Every day, they've just finished breakfast. Can I have a snack? They've just finished lunch. Can I have something to eat? They've just finished dinner. Is there anything else? Oh my Lord! So much food has been eaten already. However, can I just say that I love a bit of routine, but there is something so glorious about our mornings not starting with the panic of trying to get everyone ready for school. We can be a little bit breezy, and I like being a little bit breezy. It can be really easy to start comparing yourself when you see other families out and about, or on Instagram when they're having these gorgeous days out, and you wonder if you're doing enough or making the most of it. But behind the scenes, everyone is navigating their own challenges, even Keira Knightley. When she came on the podcast last year, she spoke so refreshingly about sleep deprivation and just getting through one day at a time. That's one of the things I love about these conversations. No matter who I'm talking to, there's nearly always a moment when they say something that makes me think, I really needed to hear that. So here's the first little reminder I'd love to leave you with this summer. Sometimes the goal isn't to thrive, it's simply to get through.
The only word I can find is mad. I think I was mad for about 5 years. I think sleep deprivation makes you go mad. And it's only when it finishes and you can suddenly look and you're like, oh my God, my emotions were up here, and my bandwidth for dealing with things was like this big, So it was sort of, I could kind of go in a straight line, I could learn the words, I could do the thing, but it was like gripping on with fingernails, So it's night and day if you have a sleep.
And it's having something that's completely out of your control as well. You're able to, before becoming a parent, control things to a certain extent. You control, how you sleep. You can control so much. And then all of a sudden...
Or if you don't sleep, it's the really stupid one. I love it when I hear people say this. It's like, oh my God, I've been a partier since whatever. I know what no sleep is like. And you're like, bless you. Oh, no, you don't. I think just that never being able to catch up.
Yeah.
And I think literally when she started going to nursery, when she was 3, that was when I could finally actually sleep. Because up until then, I wasn't napping. I was working all day.
Yeah.
Or, not all the time. But, I was definitely not napping during the day. So it was a really interesting thing. It feels like your body does what it needs to protect you, doesn't it? Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm basing that on nothing other than my own experience. So maybe it doesn't, but that's what it felt like to me.
I used to, when the kids all, were... when it was daytimes and I knew I shouldn't be napping, I used to go and nap in their bed because it used to make me feel less guilty.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
because
like...
I got back into my bed, it made me feel a bit...
No, like I'm being lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I never slept in my bed. That's interesting. Yeah. It was always on the sofa. So I'd be sat there kind of going, oh no, I'm sure I'm reading a script or doing something, and just like, have curled up and suddenly would wake up and it would be the end of the day.
I'd hear Tom in his music room sometimes playing something on the piano, and all of a sudden it would stop. And I'd go in to his office and he'd literally be starfished on the floor, just completely wiped out. Like, wow.
It's like there is nothing that sleep deprivation, and it's also and you see it, look, I'm completely through it. They both sleep. They're 10 and 6. It's all kind of, I see all my 2 of my best friends. They both happen to have 2-year-olds right now, and neither of them sleep through the night. And it's the look, the panic, the panic. Yeah. And people say, oh, it's just being a mum, and you're like. And I just remember reading articles at the time of being like, how important sleep is. You must get your 8 hours, and being like, fuck you. I would like to. I am trying. Talk to her.
But that's another pressure, isn't it?
Yes.
All those things we're told that we should be doing.
You should
it's
be
like,
doing.
Well, how am I meant to fill this into my day? How am I meant to sleep when I've got a child who doesn't
sleep and doesn't seem to find it a problem that she doesn't sleep, but doesn't sleep? I don't have no idea. It's such a particular form of crazy torture.
Mm-hmm.
Torture. and the panic in parents' eyes. And you just, now having come through the other side of it, you want to, it will end.
Yeah.
But when I say when my kid was 5, it doesn't make anyone feel any better. It's like, especially my friends with 2-year-olds. Hey, don't worry, you've got another 3 years to go. It's going to be all right. I have a lot of grey hair, but it's going to be all right. And people mean to be helpful, but they go, have you tried a sleep routine? And you literally I've never felt rage like the have you tried a sleep routine? Have you just tried putting her to bed later? You think I haven't tried all of the things, You just have, I think they come out the way they come out.
Yeah.
You get a sleeper, you don't get a sleeper. Yeah. I feel actually very fortunate that we got the non-sleeper first. Because
that's true.
There was at no point going into the second one that we thought we were good parents. We hadn't made that mistake of going, God, we're really good at this. We were just like, and then just happened to get the I like sleeping one.
Amazing.
And can I just say, for all of the people out there, parenting is easier if you have the sleeping child.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it 100%. If you've had a night's sleep, you can deal with anything during the day. Mm-hmm. If you have not, everything is hard. Yeah. And that is not your fault. Yeah. I feel very important, like it's very important to say that. Because, I remember at the time looking at mates with babies who slept and they were so glorious. They were dressed well. They looked great. They were having a lovely mother and baby time. It was all lovely. And you're sitting there going, look, I'm so lucky. My daughter is sensational. She's like all of the wonderful things. But I'm in pieces, and how are these women not in pieces, And you go, you're not in pieces because you haven't slept in.
How does it feel like looking back at that version of you and kind of going, oh, fuck? Especially, did you feel like you could talk to people and go, this is hard?
I'm really lucky. I had a couple of really good friends, and also my mum had 2 non-sleepers. So
you were one of them?
Yeah. My brother for 6 years and me for 2.
Okay. So you didn't deserve 5 years?
I didn't deserve 5 years. I think actually maybe I'm lying about 2. Maybe it was a bit longer. Actually, no, do you know what? I'm lying because I always used to get up in the middle of the night, and I distinctly remember I would get up in the middle of the night. Their room was on the top floor. We were in the middle. I'd get up. My dad, literally not even awake, would get up and he'd go down and he'd finish the night in my bed, and I would be up there in my mum's bed. And that was until I was 6. So actually me saying, okay, I didn't sleep. I'm just like, I didn't.
Retract.
So they had 2 kids that didn't sleep until they were 6. And when I told my dad that I was pregnant, he went, comeuppance. And he might have had a point. I was like, all right. But yeah,
Was there a point within that 5 years where you kind of felt worried that it would never end?
Yes.
Especially if you're feeling that anger and that kind of...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do. You could, because it feels, that kind of sleep deprivation feels endless. Yeah. And therefore that kind of, within your own brain, sort of feeling like somebody's putting their nails down a blackboard. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. Because you don't know when it's going to end. Yeah. And it becomes your life, right? It becomes, so you become... And you also think, am I always going to be this short-tempered? Are we always going to meet this? And you're like, and everything. I think from the birth, my body didn't heal very quick. Actually, it was very straightforward. But I got induced, and then I took all the drugs. Did then tear, so had stitches. But the healing was really. But you're like, of course you're not going to heal. You haven't. There's no chance to take a breath. There's no chance to heal. Yeah. Right? You're just on it from the moment they come out. Like you are on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the best place to have stitches, to be fair.
It's not for sitting awful. Down and chilling out. I mean, it's
for,
not
for anything.
For anything. It is not ideal.
If you're sitting, if you're moving, it's just not great.
Anything. Looking after a child the whole time. I mean, it's not ideal.
I can remember walking at various times and just feeling like it's something had been caught.
Oh, that! Oh my God!
Yeah, not great.
Oh my God!
Not
and the
great.
Pads and the thing and the oh God, I mean, it's so awful. It's so awful. And people going, God, you must be so happy. And you're like, have you tried ripping open your vagina recently? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that happy.
Like I said, refreshing. Before we become parents, it's so easy to imagine what we'll do, what we won't do, and the kind of parent we want to be. Then a baby arrives and everything changes. It can be really easy to feel judgment and compare yourself to everyone else. I remember thinking about this a lot after I spoke to Lucy Watson back in 2025. So time for your second truth. The most important thing is finding what works for you and your family without worrying what everyone else thinks.
I did go through an identity crisis because I was like, you have a baby and you can't, your life completely changes. You now dedicate pretty much all of your life to your child. And of course, now I have that balance. But I think for the first 8 weeks, I was all in. I was exclusively breastfeeding. I was just like there for my child and just not really sleeping and all the things that everyone does. But when I got to sort of 8 weeks, I started pumping. And that changed my life because my husband could then feed my baby or our baby. And not only my husband, my mum or his mum or whatever. And that made, and it's just like kind of just taking the steps, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But you are different. And I don't think you'll ever be the same.
I think that the fact that you will never be the same again is only ever a positive.
Yeah.
This is something I always say. Yeah, you can't go through those monumental moments in life and stay the same. What was your journey with your body like? Because you touched on there about how, first looking in the mirror and kind of going, oh gosh, what is this? At what point did you start embracing your body and your new body or feeling more like yourself again? Because I think that whole snapback thing, that whole kind of looking at people on Instagram thing is so unhelpful because we don't know what happens behind the picture or how much that person might be crying before they took that picture or after it. Or
exactly. And if I'm honest, being completely candid here, I don't think I've yet got to a point where I look at my body and think that's me kind of thing.
Really?
Not yet. And it's been nearly 2 years since I got pregnant.
Yeah.
So, but I think that is partly because I just haven't yet started working out again. And I used to work out all the time. And I keep saying, I'm going to get into it. And I think when I do that, I think I will feel...
But then I'll look at your photos on Instagram and be like, well, I never look like that. Pre-kids, only So it's all about where you are, what you know, you know what I mean, and how you feel.
But also Instagram is a representation that you are in control of, like you said earlier. Like you control the angles and the images that you post. And I think... a part of what is on my mind at the moment is more not what's on the outside, more on the inside, and I don't feel physically fit.
Right.
That's something that I think is bothering me at the moment, and it's just like a more health thing. I know. I mean, I ran to the gym the other day, which is maybe a couple 100 meters from my apartment, and I was like about to have cardiac arrest.
It's always really humbling moments like that.
I was like, I couldn't breathe before I even started this class that I was about to do, and I think everyone was looking at me like, is she going to make it through the class? But there are changes with your whole body, and not only just like your stomach and everything, but like your boobs, and you're changing cup size all the time, and that can be weird too, and it's just part and parcel. Again, where is that salary at for the women? Where is the salary?
When it comes to the last year of motherhood, has it been what you thought it would be?
No, because I don't think you can ever really know what you're getting yourself into when you have a child. Like, you never know what it's going to be like until you do it. And there's so many things. And I'm going to be completely candid here. In the lead up to being a mum, I feel like I fully judged other mums on so many decisions.
Let's talk about, so at the start, we talked about dummies.
Yes.
What was your stance on dummies before you had a baby? Yeah.
My child will never have a dummy. So bad for their teeth. Yeah, no. 2 weeks in, I was like, where's the dummy? Which tummy brand should we try?
But there is that, isn't it? Yeah. I think before you're in that situation, you can kind of look on and go, God, no. Yeah. But actually, It's only when you're in it
You
that
can't
can really
judge.
make a decision.
You can't judge any mother on their decisions until you've walked, in their shoes. And even then you shouldn't judge, unless someone's being actually abusive to their kid. Yeah. You just shouldn't judge. So, there were so many things. And I'm sure so many people were like, yeah, you just wait. When I'd say, well, I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to do that. And then it's like, when you're actually in it, you're just trying to survive. Yeah. And, whatever methods you think are suitable. And what you think is right for your child changes when your child is there. Yeah. Before, you don't really have those instincts. Mm-hmm. The instincts come into play. Yeah. Once, I didn't think I'd even, the thought of breastfeeding, I was like, no.
Really?
Yes.
So what changed?
I don't know. I had my baby and it just felt like a natural instinct.
Did it just sort of happen then?
No, it didn't happen. It was like a real have to commit to this because this is like physical, mental battle for me. It was not enjoyable, natural, anything that I thought it was going to be.
But you just, part of you had that urge to sort of try and to persevere.
I just knew that he really wanted it and I just set myself the challenge of doing it, and I think I wanted to do it. I really wanted to do it, and I always said to my sister in the lead up to giving birth, I was like, I just don't think I could breastfeed, but like I could pump, and I could give my baby the milk that way, but like breastfeeding, I don't know.
What was her response?
It's a bit weird. She was like, so you're going to pump every single time, and you're going to like clean the pump and like sterilize. She didn't like say anything. She was like, okay, cool. And I know she was thinking to herself, you're never going to do that. That's going to be so time consuming and you're just going to want to, whack your baby about and feed that, in the middle of the night when you're exhausted. You're not going to reach for your pump and try and do that. And fair play to people who do, because I know there are people who do that.
Absolutely.
And that's amazing. But I was too exhausted. And you do get oxytocin when you're breastfeeding. So that your body does there is a part of a hormonal response that actually enjoys it as well. But yeah, there's so many things. I was like, I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to do that.
How long did your breastfeeding journey last?
I'm still breastfeeding.
Are you?
13 months. Yeah. 13
I went
months.
up to 13 months.
Yeah, I'm still breastfeeding. I do morning and evening at the moment. Again, this is something that I'm like, I'm just going to keep it going till we move into the house. And then maybe we can look to stop because I don't want to take all these things away from him that bring him comfort or happiness and joy and then be like, just all this change. I don't want all this change to happen in the space of a few months. So, but
we'll find a way.
So you did it to 13 months too. That's good going.
Yeah. And then because I did that for the first, I was like, well, everyone has to have that because I can't.
The same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, it's hard, isn't it? I don't know what your experience is like, but it was, not enjoyable for the first, but it gets easier. But yeah, still going. So honestly, it's just.
But also, that's quite nice knowing you're doing it in the morning and the evening. Yeah, that's a nice little bit of time. It's not on demand. For you and him. Yeah,
I've kind of been weaning so slowly because I didn't want to do like cold turkey. So I've just been like over the last few months, just like dropping
and also
feed.
For your boobs. Yeah, just to slowly. Decline that feed.
Yes. Adjust.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I know people that did it cold turkey and.
The pain of that. Honestly, it makes
I'm
literally clutching my boobs for anyone that's listening. I just feel the burn, the heat.
Oh, I can't imagine.
The stoneness of that.
Each to their own and, good on you.
Yeah. If you could write a letter on motherhood, who would it be to and what would you say?
A letter on motherhood? I guess I'd write it to me, the judgy bitch that I was.
I like this letter.
Yeah, I think I'd write it to myself pre-birth and just be like, you just cannot judge any mum until, you've been in that position, and just be open-minded. Let your natural instincts take over and just see what happens. And just don't set yourself any expectations or boundaries yet. Just give it a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
I also like that you ended up with the question of okay. Okay.
You got to be fine with her.
Okay. Now, whether you are out working this summer or at home with the kids, I know you'll be constantly juggling to get it all done. Hang in there. I promise you, just hang in. I know my sister-in-law, Carrie, and her husband, Joel, have been in constant juggle mode this year. We spoke about it at Christmas, that pressure we feel to choose between building a career and building a family. So maybe you need to hear this summer. There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to family or work.
Because I think there's almost sort of like a fear, especially in younger performers, because they're like, will I get to have, because I want a career, but I also really want a family one day. And, with the way that the industry used to be, it just didn't facilitate having a family. Like, it was either you give 100% to your job or you don't do the job. Yeah. So I think, now that we're sort of figuring out our way through it, and look, we're both in a very sort of privileged position because, I've sort of, both of us have established our names in theatre now. Which means that when it comes to doing jobs, producers are a little bit more lenient on, facilitating what you want, especially if you're playing the lead in a show, because if they want you, they have to facilitate it. Yeah. That's kind of the end of the conversation.
And also, we're not talking about diva-ish things within this.
No.
It's,
just...
I am.
You're not saying I want a red dressing room and a few puppies running around. Do you know what I mean?
Can I bring my kid in every now and again if it's, childcare's fallen through?
Can someone carry me into my dressing room?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you imagine?
So yeah, I think I'd write a letter to sort of people who want to become parents who also want a career. And I don't entirely know what I would say, but just that it is possible and that you can have both dreams. It takes a lot of manoeuvring and a lot of sort of figuring things out and a lot of conversation, but it is doable.
Yeah. I think for those people as well, seeing people like you doing it does give hope. Like it means that you don't have to.
Our friend Amber said that recently. Amber Davies.
Yeah.
She messaged me a really sweet message.
She's
actually
really supportive, Amber.
Yeah,
like,
she's
the
incredible.
fact that you're both working and showing people that it can be done. And I'd say the same that's like for you and Tom. That, just to see that you can both have careers and both be successful, but you're still making sure that the kids are the priority. Yeah. It can be done. Evidently, there are some privileges that we have in certain statuses and whatever, and I get that, but
it's also the fact that there are so many parents in theatre that you don't hear about who are still doing this.
Yep.
And that's who we had to rely on. Like, we've got so many friends who are parents in theatre that we had to turn to and be like, how do you do this? Yeah. Like, how are you getting everything done?
Also, nowadays, a household actually has to have two wages.
Yeah.
Like, we get... Years ago, maybe in the 80s, it was fine when, the traditional man went off to work and a woman stayed home. Yeah. But like now, you can't really actually afford that anymore. Yeah. It's very difficult. And I even said to Carrie how single parents have done it. I do not know. It's unbelievable how, because I found it hard even when I felt like a little bit of a single parent when Carrie's on tour. But I'm like, I don't know how people can do this. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Take my hat off to them, I really do.
Yeah. Well, and how important that support network is.
Yeah, having a village. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I do think we kind of feel like we have to be able to do everything. And I think it's so important to highlight the fact that we have a support team.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's because we don't live how we used to. We don't live in the same village with our mums, our dads, our siblings. Like everyone is, apart. So you do have to rely on people. You have to create that network.
Yeah, absolutely.
I end the podcast with you completing 3 sentences. The first one is being a mum means, being a dad means. Go.
Oh, God. I should have been more prepared for this.
You have done it before. This isn't brand new.
I know, I'm so sorry.
This is brand new for me.
I like to get
What did I say before, out of interest?
Oh, I wrote it down. I've not got my pad.
Sorry.
I was given no notes for this interview. Can you believe it? Alex, you failed
Being
me.
a dad means being kind, sincere, supportive, and understanding.
Oh, well done. That's a really good one.
Beautiful.
Oh, no.
Is that what it means?
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh, no. It was just...
Being a mum means everything in every sense, because you feel like you have to be everything to everyone all of the time.
Yeah.
But also that has to include yourself. And what's that amazing saying, which is thrown around so much, but it is so true, is that you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
And every now and again, that means having to step away and doing something for yourself, or just having a bath, or just taking 10 minutes just to sort of recalibrate before you can go back in and be 100% mum. So yeah, and it means everything in the sense of how incredible it all is, and how all-consuming it is, especially in those first few months.
Absolutely.
My God, those first few months.
Oh my God, I'm remembering.
Oh my God, those first few months.
Rocking again.
Next sentence. Since having a child, I...
Have never slept.
Okay.
Oh no. Since having a child, I have completely shifted my perspective. Because you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. And it naturally happens because, you know, they come before everything. Not only because they have to, but because you want them to come before everything, because they're just these little innocent bundles of joy and happiness and sleep deprivation. So yeah, my perspective has completely shifted. And I think I was, like I said before, I was already on the way there, of the whole sort of like living to work, working to live type thing. But if anything's going to be a catalyst to that, it's having a kid and you go, oh my God, nothing else matters aside from them.
Oh my God. Nothing else matters aside from love. I love that. The holidays do have a funny way of making you feel like you're not on top of things. When Lacey Turner joined me just a few weeks after welcoming her third baby, we ended up talking about how much more relaxed you become with each child. So reminder number 4. Sometimes letting go of the plan is exactly what everyone needs.
When I get dressed, my son says, "Where are you going?" Because he only ever sees me in a tracksuit.
How are you feeling? Because I do feel like 11 weeks, you could potentially be coming out of the storm of it, of the newborn, or are you still feeling very much like you're juggling?
Do you know what? It's so weird because I don't feel like I've had a baby. I have really quick births.
Really?
Yeah, so Dusty was 6 hours from door to coming out. Trilby was 3 from door to coming out. And she was an hour and a half.
No!
So, sure, I mean, listen, I'm not taking anything away from giving birth.
I mean, if you had a
That's
fourth, it would
mental.
just slip out.
Well, I think I'd sneeze. It would just fall out. Oh, God.
But let's talk about you now. Are you sleeping?
Yeah.
Are you?
Well, she gets up at 2. See, the thing with the third is they have to
slot
fit in
in,
around
they
the
do.
others.
Yeah.
So she can't do 7, 11, 3 because they got to get up at 7.
So funny, because Max was the same. I wonder if there's something, I mean, there'll be mums of 3 that are going, no, that's not true. Mine are waking up. But I wonder if there is something in that of kind of going, well, this is, or maybe we're less,
I think so.
frantic as we were with the other 2.
Well, they breathe the first one and you go,
Yeah.
and then you check them. And then the third one, they sort of go, and you think, oh, they're waking up. All right, I'm coming. You're just sort of more relaxed, aren't you? Because you sort of know what those sounds mean and you get what all the different cries mean. So it is, I found the jump from 1 to 2 quite shocking.
Yeah.
But not 2 to 3.
I felt like
She
I
did sort
enjoyed
of
the
slot
third
in.
a lot more
Yeah.
in the early days. Like that less feeling like I had to do certain things.
Yes.
Just sit and hold him.
Yeah. And if they don't go to sleep, do you know what? They will eventually.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Whereas the first one, you're like, but it says on the paper that you've got to go to sleep at
Gina
9:30.
Ford said.
You're like a mad woman. And oh my God, it's only been 40 minutes. Run up the stairs. Whereas the third one, you're like, oh God, you're up. Come on, let's go.
Well, let's talk about work because you did work throughout your pregnancies. You like to stay at work for as long as possible.
Yeah. Because I just think it's actually harder being at home.
Yeah.
You know, if you're at home, I've got to bend down, pick all the LOL dolls up from the floor and the Lego and, you know,
If you're at work, you don't have to bend
you
down to do any of
don't.
that stuff.
You can sit down and your tea's hot and you can go to the toilet on your own. So actually, it's easier to someone gets you a chair at home. They don't even look at you. They don't care. Mum. You know, so I just thought I'll stay there as long as possible.
Nice. Was there lots of stuff to help you hide your bump in scenes?
There was the first 2 pregnancies they did, and then I think by the third one they just gave up. Because obviously we had the live, so it was never going to match. So I just feel like I saw a couple of bits and I thought, well, I clearly look pregnant on the telly. They'd given up. And I remember saying to one director, I was wearing a red kimono. And I said, Miguel, you can see my bump. And he was like, you're pregnant? I was like 7 months pregnant. He was like, I didn't know. And I was like, oh well. But no, it went out. And I think we were just sort of turning a blind eye to it come the third time.
So with those 2, the first 2, how long did you have off the other side?
When I had Dusty, I took 9 months, and that ended up being a year because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then I think we went into lockdown when she was about...
So you would have been pregnant when you went back?
I went back pregnant. I know. Imagine that phone call. I phoned Kate Oates and I was like, I don't really know how to say this. And she was like, don't worry, I know what you're going to say. And she was lovely. But I felt like I was taking the mick if I took too long off. So
Really?
I had Trilby in the February and I went back in the August. What's that? Well, I hadn't actually. I had one more week of work and I remember filming on the Tuesday and I said to the director...
Because obviously you went into... Yeah, okay.
I said, Rich, you're mad leaving my stuff till Friday. And he was like, I know. I said, I'm having this baby tonight. He was so low. I knew he was coming. You know when you just know? Like I felt like he was he was so low. I said, he'll come tonight. And he was like, yeah. Lo and behold, he did come on Tuesday. So I text Richard after I'd given birth. I said, don't worry, I'll be in next week just to film those last few scenes. So I went in for a morning just to finish.
I mean, what was that like?
I mean,
having two little...
That was mad.
2 under 17 months, you're still, you've given birth.
I know, but I'd had that lovely sleep because I couldn't go.
Well, I guess in some ways, did it keep your mind occupied?
Well, yes, because I have got a village around me.
I know you do, but there's also the physical and the emotional impact.
And it was just a morning, and it was strange.
Yeah.
I have to say, it was strange. When I went back with Gypsy, it was easier. There was it was... One, she was easy.
Yeah.
She is an easy baby. I'll regret saying that at some point. Mm-hmm. As it stands today, she's been easy. But it was only a morning where this time I had a purpose.
Well,
I had
a
wonder
reason.
if...
Because with the other two, I know that you had to go back for after Trilby because of that scene, but that was something that you hadn't sort of pre-planned, right?
No.
That was just something that happened.
And that was my choice. I wanted to make sure that story was finished properly.
Yeah, because then you think about everyone else's craft and
exactly,
all that stuff. But with Gypsy, you stepped away knowing that you were going to be back when your baby was 4 weeks old or, around.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did it feel like a pressure knowing that you had to be back? Filming stuff knowing the next time you film the next bit of this? Or no, after, because you would have filmed bits that happened after the live.
Yeah.
What was that like mentally kind of going... Or having a place to be, but also knowing that you were filming things that were going to happen either side of you giving birth?
It was weird because I had gone up to my boss to tell him I was pregnant. And we knew it was the 40th. We didn't know what it was about. So I said, I'm pregnant. And he sort of went a bit green. And I thought, that's a funny reaction.
It's not yours. Don't worry about it.
Didn't think anything of it. I just thought, okay. I was like, but listen, whatever you're doing for the live, I want to be a part of it. I missed the last one and I missed the one before that. So I was like, I loved doing the 25th. I really enjoyed it. I said, I want to be a part of it. Thinking, I had an inkling that there was going to be a wedding and I thought I'll be in the Vic.
Yeah.
Just be in the background of that. So I was like, I want to be in it. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. I want to be in it. It's the end of February.
Yeah.
If it's live, I'll be fine. If not, we would have shot it before anyway. And at that point, I don't think they decided whether it was going to be live or not. So he was like, I'll let you know. I'll
Do you
let
think they already knew the sort of storyline that they were...
I think they did, which was why he went a bit green.
Which also means, though, that certainly the live and then the episodes that you would have filmed while pregnant that would go out afterwards, that's a very emotional journey for your character to be on and for you to be on whilst either heavily pregnant or just giving birth.
It was hard because obviously me and James are really close. We're like brother and sister. So I didn't see that coming. So it was, I felt, filming all the stuff after the live, which we shot before the live,
yeah.
I felt like he had died. It was a really odd feeling.
But I guess
Because
that's a
people
double
come
thing as
and
well,
go.
right? Because that you're knowing that that's saying goodbye to your partnership on the show.
Yeah.
So there
and
is
it
a
was
grieving
really,
process within that.
It was hard. It was like, every tear that came out my eye was a genuine sadness. In fact, I didn't rehearse any of that.
Really?
I physically couldn't speak. I actually, the day after James phoned me to say that that they'd decided that that's between them that's what was going to happen to Martin, I was like beside myself.
Really?
I went into work the next day and said, do I need to be here? I couldn't speak. I couldn't believe that he wanted to go that way and that they're letting him go that way. So I wasn't acting.
Yeah.
It was genuine. I was genuinely sad. I couldn't rehearse because I just didn't, I couldn't do it. I couldn't speak. I could barely say the lines. It was weird because I spent, I guess, the end of my pregnancy really sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess also your hormones are all over the place as well. So I don't know. It's an odd thing to do. Now I look back, it's a really strange thing to do.
But I think that is also acting.
I mean, it's an odd job anyway, isn't it?
So excited to see Lacey in Strictly this year. And I have to say, another person very close to my heart will, of course, be there too, Emma Willis. I'm so lucky that I've had Emma by my side since even before I had kids. She's seen the sort of pressure I put myself under at the beginning. So the house tidy, the washing up done, dinner on the table, trying to make it look completely effortless. When Emma surprised me for our 300th episode, I found myself talking about something that I think so many of us struggle with, accepting help. So my final piece of advice for you this summer is accept the help. I think I was just trying to do everything and be, when people come over, the thing you want. I wanted nothing more than for people to leave my home and go, God, she's a good mum. Isn't she great? God, she has it all together. Did you see her? Do these fresh cakes. I don't know about fresh cakes. But, I wanted to be bloody Mary Poppins,
Well, because that is what we're told, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the throughout the history of time.
Yeah.
Like, apparently, this is being a good mum is having it all together and doing all these things and juggling all these balls and keeping them all up in the air. And we can do that. But also we can't do that. And all you want is, you want people to think you're a good mum, right?
Yeah.
Because you are a good mum. But actually, sometimes you just need to be looked after as well.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to say that out loud and to ask for it sometimes because otherwise you feel like a failure to yourself.
Yeah. It's really weird, isn't it? Because I think what you need is for other people just to do the things.
Yeah.
First of all, not ask. If anyone asks me, what can I do? I'm always going to be like, oh, don't worry, I've got it.
Yeah.
I'm never going to suggest something. If someone just does something, amazing. Just to take that pressure off.
But has that changed now that you're 3 children in? I feel like I've changed with that. I'm the same. I'm like, whether it's to do with children or people visiting or if you're just having people over, right?
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, for example.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do? No, it's fine. It's fine.
it's true.
Now I'm like, yeah, bring whatever you want to drink.
Yeah.
Or even if it's that simple, like, I'm not failing as a human because I'm saying bring something along,
Yeah, I just thought,
It's
why do
weird,
we do
isn't
that?
it? It's self-pressure
Yeah.
for really no reason.
I came back from holiday once and Mum had been staying over to look after the chickens. So Mum was there when we arrived back. I put the first load of washing on. And then before I knew it, Mum had done the rest of the washing. And I just thought,
It's great, isn't it?
why don't I lean into this more? This is amazing. I can just, get on with other things that need to be done, like clean out the chickens, sort out what's going on in the greenhouse. I don't need to be
Yeah.
doing the washing.
And you have 3 boys.
Who
I
are
mean, you have 3 kids. Doesn't matter whether
who
you've
are
got boys
very
or
active
girls.
and very wild, and they love they're either all together creating chaos or creating chaos individually and the yelp because someone's been in their room.
Do you feel like there was always chaos, or do you feel like once there was two of them, they created chaos with each other?
Yeah.
Like, was Buzz quite...
Oh, Buzz was not chilled. He was the showman.
He has always been on those little tippy toes.
Yeah. You know, he's always played like he's always wanted to play the drums, to play the guitar, to sing, so he's always been really, really active.
Well, that's because he came out of your vagina,
Yes,
went into a papoose and went on tour.
It's very
Essentially,
true. Yeah.
I remember
This is what happened.
just seeing him as a baby at gigs with like these
know.
big ear defenders on.
Yeah.
He was, and you know, it's no surprise that he is just so bloody talented because he's just like, that's all he's ever absorbed and been around.
Yeah.
is just creativity.
Yeah, that's very true. But I think whenever you add children into the mix, it changes the dynamics.
Yeah.
You know, as people change their order, or, you know, they're no longer the youngest, or there's more responsibility because now the eldest of two. So I think that's always shifted. I can remember Buzz and Buddy being so excited about meeting Max. Like that, just the fact that Buddy used to constantly hold Max. You know, I know they fight now, but there are always times when you've only got two of them where you see the dynamics between two is just so different.
Yeah.
You know,
What was the dynamic like between the two of them?
between Buzz and Buddy, Buzz used to make Buddy laugh all the time. Yeah, very, very cute. It's so hard, isn't it? Because they were so diddy even when Max came along. You know, I had 3 under 5. Yeah, 3 under. Buzz was 4.5, I think, when Max came along. Yeah, they're all still so diddy. You know, in retrospect now, when I look back, I'm like, that was hard. You know, that was hard.
Yeah.
And when you go somewhere and you don't know where any of them are going, whereas now you can kind of go, I will be here, and they can go off around someone's house and, you know, they know where to come back. Whereas you feel like in those early days, you're constantly chasing someone. But yeah, has it always been chaotic? I would still say the biggest jump, the biggest life switch, life change was 0 to 1. Because that's a whole new life.
I agree with you there.
Whereas you already live in that life when the second or third one come along. I had my most prolific writing year when Buddy was born. So I had 2 babies, or 2 kids, and I finished writing 3 books, which is just bonkers.
How, G?
I didn't sleep.
And still now, I often think this, right? You and Tom are quite possibly the busiest people I know.
Yeah.
But without shadow of a doubt, you are always with your kids as well. So I'm like, when do they sleep?
I went through a phase.
I don't understand.
Well, I went through a phase where I would put the kids to bed at 7, then I would carry on writing until 1, and then I'd go to sleep, and then I'd be up again with the kids at like 5:30. And that was my routine every single day. And I can remember going on holiday and us all being in the same room, so we had to sleep when the baby slept, and that fucked me up completely. I came back and I was like, where's my 8-9 hours of sleep gone? I can't do this anymore. And that totally changed everything. Just suddenly realizing that, oh no, you do need to sleep. But what I find bizarre now is that looking back at previous work kind of makes me go, God, how did I do that? How did I create this? You know, and I don't know whether it's because I was so tired, just working on this different frequency. I don't know. But what I've realised recently is there is nothing more stifling than your previous creativity.
Why?
Because you're seeing the whole thing, right? You're not looking at each page as you write. You're looking at this finished product, this finished book. You know, that you don't see all the work that went into it. You can read it, go, whoa, that bit was good, wasn't it? Never mind.
Then it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
To try and start again.
Yeah. I mean, it's all good. It's all happening. I hope one of those little reminders has found you at just the right time. Big summer love to all of you. We'll be back next week.